just heard. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can always come to the front. We have lots of seats in the front. Do not be scared. I am so happy to see everyone here tonight. Welcome to Poetic Pages, where Black poets speak. We are at Hoboken Historical Museum. Let's give them a clap, this beautiful space. And I am just so excited to be here with you all. And I want to welcome up the poet in residence of Hoboken Historical Museum, the wonderful Danny Schott. Let's give it up for Danny Schott.
Thank you, Millie. Welcome to the Hoboken Historical Museum, where I happen to be the poet in residence. I'd also like to thank specific people: Bob Foster, Vera Sirota, Bill Curran, Rand Hoppy doing the sound and videos, and we do a lot of stuff here. I do want to mention a few things before we begin. Tomorrow there's an event, part of the lecture series, African Americans During the Revolutionary Era, and it's here tomorrow, Sunday, March 8th at 4 p.m. I'd also like to mention that on Sunday, March 22nd, we'll be here celebrating 25 years of Kevin Carey Press, which is a small press here in New Jersey that also happens to be my publisher, but that's that. I'd also like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility here to the original caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Lenape tribe, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. The Lenape named Hoboken, which in their language means land of the tobacco pipe, or simply long pipe. The Lenape were promised their own sovereign state in New Jersey for fighting against the British during the American Revolution. The government lied. Like always, like a lot. I'm going to basically turn over the event to Millie. I'm really excited about this event, but let me tell you a little bit about Millie, and then the mic is hers. Millicent Ansah, known as Millie, is a Jersey City-based educator, poet, and community curator whose work has been featured in Soup Can Magazine, WNYC, and Teaneck Poetry Park. She is the founder and host of Mocha Mike with Millie. Let's hear from Mocha Mike with Millie. A monthly open mic uplifting Black and emerging artists. In 2025, she launched Poetic Pages, where Black poets speak. And that's what this event is. So let's hear it for Poetic Pages. Which is, as you probably know, a literary series created to preserve and highlight Black stories and artistry. Millie also partners with local organizations to lead creative writing workshops for youth and build meaningful community connections through the arts. I present to you Millicent Ansah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Danny. Thank you to Hoboken Historical Museum. I'm so excited to be here for this event and to do what he just described from the bio, celebrate Black voices. So I have a few words. Nikki Giovanni, she's a poet. She just became an ancestor recently, Black poet. She reminds us that we need poetry. We deserve poetry. We owe it to ourselves to recreate ourselves and find a different, if not better, way to live. And through the retelling of our stories, that's what we do. Poetry is not a luxury. It is not extra. It is necessary. It helps us reimagine ourselves in times when the world tries to define us. And I think, as we all know, we're living through a time like that, where our narratives are being rewritten. There's a lot of propaganda, and somehow that becomes truth. Poetic Pages exists as an intentional space where Black poets reclaim their narrative, preserve history, and create new possibilities through language. Our words are documentation. They are healing, they are resistance, and they are vision. Tonight, we celebrate artistry, authorship, and the courage it takes to put your truth on the page. And that is what all of our features embody tonight. I'm so honored to be joined by 3 amazing features. Don Krypton. Let's give it up for him right here. Poet, comedian, and author of Illogical, and a key force in the New Jersey poetry community through Evo Culture and the Newark Poetry Council. Have to make sure I say Newark, because they don't play about that. Newark. Someone once told me like pork, but Newark. Yes. Katrina Powell. Let's give it up for Katrina Powell. Wave your hand, Katrina. Jersey City poet and author of Was Voiceless, whose work centers Black women empowerment, spirituality, and survival. And also Justin Johnson, known as Justin Johnson Soldout. Author, poet, and music artist who blends poetry and sound, self-publishing Scattered, and continuing to create work rooted in identity and truth. Tonight, we listen, we reflect, we recreate. Welcome to Poetic Pages, where Black poets speak. We're about to begin. Yes. So for our schedule for tonight, we are going to hear from our poets first. They're going to share their work. We are then going to open it up to our panel discussion, where I will be asking a bunch of questions to our poets. And then we're going to have Q&A, small break. And we also want you to make sure you support their literature, their books. They're right in the back. All right, so if you saw it, you can at any time go check it out. And the first poet we're gonna welcome up, make sure my notes all together. There's lots of papers. It's going to be Don Krypton. Let's get it up for Don Krypton.
One more time for Millicent, everyone. The division between people isn't between black and white, but between green and silver. When you flip a coin, heads try to continue to integrate to a system not built for you to succeed. Make minuscule strides up while the weight of everything else continues to hold you down. Do your small part in a world that will continue being run by the rich. Flip it again. Tails. Burn it all down. Destroy everything around you and pick up the little scraps that you can carry, while the ones with deep pockets and storehouses pick up everything you left behind. There's a slight chance that the monetary system could be made irrelevant, but that would be a whole different game. Changing it now would not be allowed because people like playing the way it is right now. No matter which side you choose, the game is controlled by the one who owns the coin. Paul. Whew. Thank you so very much. Yes, my name is Don Krypton. I am from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I am currently headquartered in Newark, New Jersey. You can hear the little extra syllable I put in there because I'm from Elizabeth. It is what it is. I'm sorry to everybody as usual. But I'm helping a lot more out in Newark because it's it has been a cultural hub for us in Jersey for a long time. So I'm doing my best to help out there, and there are a lot of awesome, amazing poets. So hopefully we'll see some of you down in Newark someday. And the Evolu Culture Show is on every third Saturday at 77 Academy, Evolution Dope and Mic. So if you want to see me, I do DJ as well, and that's actually this month I'll be DJing there as well. So let me know, and we can get you set up with that. As far as my pieces are concerned, my book, Illogical, I was hoping to go as it go, things change, it's cool. My book is actually slightly based off of Justin Johnson's cover as well. So it's a blessing to be on the same stage as him, because I'm fairly new to the game. So thank you, Justin. Listen, absolutely. Basically, this book is about a man that thinks in numbers and letters and logic, trying to get to his next goal, trying to figure out all the big feelings. So if you want to read it, please, I have a few copies in the back. And basically my set was written because of me being able to get a notebook. Someone gave me a notebook, said, write it down, write what you need, manifest what you need in paper. So I also created a brand new journal as well called Power Play. It's $10, and it's literally only 10. That's it. That's basically free. It is on limited quantity right now because people have been buying it, fortunately, but it is literally just a journal, and hopefully just to inspire you to write. If you're a comedian, if you're a poet, if you're a writer of some sort, it all starts with writing. So that's all of my plugs for right now. Let's get into a piece of what is it like? What is my experience? Who am I, right? That's what people want to know. That's why I'm here. Let me figure out this. I'm actually an IT tech, so seeing this is a little bit bothering me sometimes, but it does work perfectly fine. It's leaning, it's fine. All right. So, what is it like being black? I find it very interesting. It's almost like being a celebrity. Any place I walk into, people are following me. The police follow me all the time to make sure I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path. My mental health, nobody cares because I have the same opportunities as everybody else. What is it like being a man? I'd say it's interesting as well. It's almost like being a Superman. When I go into stores, they follow me and absolutely nobody offers to help me out. They just watch and see what I'm gonna do next. When I'm on the side of the road, the police fly past me because as a man, I should have a spare in the trunk. And I should be able to change that on my own. My mental health, nobody cares because I'm a man and I should be able to pick things up and put them down. Okay. What is it like being a poet? Terrible. Nobody follows me around. Everybody's always asking questions about my work. And when I first started, I was going millions of miles up and down the parkway and the turnpike, not getting paid for any of it. And when people hear my words, they are always questioning my mental health. So the final question is, what is it like being Don Krypton? The answer is, I have no idea. Boom. Oh man, you have no idea how hard it is to write comedic poetry after having something like this. This is not comedic poetry, so if you're not looking for comedic poetry, don't get that one. But if you are looking for an insight as to why people are questioning my mental health, there you go. You have an insight right there. So many questions, comments, concerns, but lots of fun. Let's see. One of my favorite phrases is yeet because it can mean a million different things. But we're not going to get into that right now. We're going to get into one of my not so favorite phrases. I think one of the most overused and understood. We got that? Understood phrases is woke. Now, maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm not as educated in Black history as I should be, but I am awake. I'm awake of the problems of today. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that we have great spending power that we can't pour into our own communities. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that with the amount of money we blow on fancy things, we don't put that money into things that really matter. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that our 56 years since the end of segregation have a long way to overcome the 245 years of oppression. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that our physical dominance in every sport, we have no ownership in the sports that we dominate. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that our more years in this country as unpaid workers see slaves than getting paid for our work, and we still somehow have the stigma of lazy. I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that our attempts to be self-sufficient in this country that didn't hold up its promise of 40 acres and a mule are stifled every time we try to do it ourselves. See that Seneca Village, see that Greenwood District, see that Hurricane Katrina, but apparently we don't deserve help because we are free. Sidebar, why did I mention Hurricane Katrina? I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that a natural disaster is the perfect excuse to remove lower income people and build your billion-dollar condos and wipe your hands clean of the people that were displaced. See gentrification. But that's why it's so important that we be here. We are all we got. We have allies, but they are few and far in between. For the most part, it is just us. Now, I'm not woke, but I'm awake enough to see that the Jesse Jacksons and the Condoleezza Rices and the Barack Obamas and the Cory Bookers are doing what they can to fix a broken system. But as W.E.B. Du Bois said, what W.E.B. Du Bois said was a system cannot fail those it was never meant to protect. And as nice as it is to see the Derek Armsteads and the Ross Barakas, at the end of the day, their duty is to their city. And they have to cater to the ones who pay the bills of the city. And that's the businesses and the corporations. And because we don't own the land and we don't have that power to have the power over our political leaders to work for us. So how do we fix that? You support those black-owned businesses. You support the black artists. You support the black arts. And of course, all of the sponsors. We have to pour our money here before we pour it anywhere else. Because at the end of the day, we are all we got, and that's just involving the dollar bill. Now, we may not all be woke, but by now we should certainly all be awake. Boom. All right. I like it. I'm glad everybody appreciate that. It's all people problem. Still trying to make this work. It's all good. We're gonna make it work. Gonna make it work. Where's my time at? One more piece. Cool. As I said, I'm a numbers and figures and facts type of guy. So here are some quotes and numbers to think about. Those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. George Santayana. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Ben Franklin. Adapt or perish. H.G. Wells. 1776, Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to secure a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Back in the days when guns shot one round and it took you 10 minutes to reload. 2022, U.S. gun laws, which have gone largely unchanged for 25 years. Meanwhile, there are 735 mass shootings resulting in 762 people dead and over 2,900 people injured. Adapt or perish. H.G. Wells. 1776, Congress should not establish a religion and enforce the legal observation of it by law, nor compel men to worship God in any manner contrary to their conscience. James Madison. 2022, Roe v. Wade overturned, affecting more than 50% of the U.S. population, if not 100%. Of the 3 women on the 9 Justice Supreme Court, 1 voted to overturn it due to their beliefs as a Catholic. Adapt or perish. Justice Clarence Thomas called on the court to revisit other decisions such as contraception and same-sex marriage. In his opinion, he wrote that he would do away with the doctrine of substantive due process and explicitly called on the court to overrule the rulings of Griswold versus Connecticut on the right to contraception, Lawrence v. Texas on the right to same-sex marriage, Oberfeld versus Hodges on the right to same-sex marriage. And you know what those are all attached to? July 2nd, 1964, Civil Rights Act. Outlaws discrimination based on color, race, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity. If they can go after your rights as people, they will go after your rights as people. Adapt or perish. Thank you. I am Don Krypton. You can follow me on all social media platforms. Thank you so much. Handing it back over to Millie. Have a great show.
Yes. Can we give it up for Don Krypton? Y'all can do a little bit better than that. That was amazing. Thank you. That's how they do it in Newark. I wanted to let you all know that we have an open mic. It's a very mini open mic. So if you would like to sign up and perform one piece, actually 5 minutes, because when you say one piece, that could be 15 minutes. So 5 minutes, it's right in the front. Check it out. And also you'll see some flyers there for Mocha Mic with Millie, which as Danny shared is my open mic series in Jersey City. On the 20th, I am celebrating 3 years of my open mic series, 3 years. Well, it has been a journey, a blessing, but a journey. And I would love to see everyone in this room there. So please come check it out. So sign up for the open mic list and make some noise. We're going to welcome up the next feature, the wonderful Katrina Powell. Let's give it up for Katrina Powell.
Short thing. Yes. Hello. Ooh, that's okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. It's stuck. All right. It's fine. It's tilted. It wobbly. Hello, everyone. My name is Katrina, but I go by Trina or Miss Blessings. And I'm from Jersey City, born and raised. And I just want to, before I read my first piece, I just want to say, like, I'm here because basically my son challenged me. You know, I've been writing since I was 12, and I appreciate Dawn bringing out journaling because that's what it was for me, to write and give myself a place to be free. So that's why my book is called I Was Voiceless, because I'm the oldest of 10. And my grandfather has 22 children. And our house was like the house where everybody was welcome. You always had a plate. You was always, come on, bring your friends. And it was a safe place. So when you have that much people in your house coming back and forth, you ain't got no time to talk and everybody's talking. So this is why the book is called I Was Voiceless. And the first poem I will read is called Transformation. Look at me. I am a woman who has lost her curves. My thickness has vanished with every needle stick and chemo treatment. I wear battle scars on my neck and my legs and my chest. Look at me. I am a woman who cries more now than ever, who laughs every chance I get, love every day I'm able to. Look at me. I am a woman, brown skin, shining in the sunset, eyes glowing, lips perky. My limp is unique. People are staring at me. I look and say, do you admire what you see? Or are you staring because you are surprised? I have these beautiful heels on. The rain has flooded my eyes. The lightning has exploded my faith. And now the sunburst glows. I smile, looking at me, loving the likeness of me. Poem. So I have two sons. They are my life. They are my loves. And they are kings. This poem is about just loving the men in our family. And my first love is for them. I address you as kings because you are royalty. I need you to step into the essence of our ancestors, your ancestors. Uncuff yourself from the pain that tugs inside you. The blood that compresses your heart is a descendant from greatness. The world wants to keep you hidden, wants to tarnish the image of the Black king, to extinguish the torch inside your spirit, for they know the gem you are. The world wants to recognize you as Jeffrey Dahmer when you are Marcus Mosiah Garvey. They chose to see color. You indulge their thoughts. You should see a man and relish that you're a Black king. A king they tried to cripple with drugs, gangs, and guns. Perceive you as a predator when you are a protector. Name shaming, yelling savage when you are a survivor. They remove Mr. and replace it with boy. Dishonoring your foundation. You are the teacher of love and war, the son of a bloodline stained in pain. You are the rise of the generational blessings. Black king, as I address you, your DNA consists of emperors, pharaohs, and kings. Keep walking into your birthright, Black kings. Poem. I do a sip and speak, I call it. And I think I just did like my fourth one in February. It just started. And I pushed this sip and speaks because I want to have conversations. I want to have creativity in the moment. I do say bring your poetry with you, but in that moment when we're in that space and we're creating, we're also bonding. So those sip and speaks for me is just as healing as it is for the ones who come. And I love it. I love it because I think that we all need to see that we are more alike than we are different, and that we're just going through different things on different levels. And for me, if we push love like they push hate, we'll remove it. We'll remove it. So this piece right here that I'm going to read is just about pushing the love and that it exists. And that's the name it's called. It's called It Exists. Love's such an interesting feeling. It can soothe like warm tea. It may erupt like an unstable volcano, and still we thirst to quench it. Unforeseen cravings of it. As love simmers like a human summer night. Splashes smiles and drizzles tears. Love is equipped in communication and mourns in ego. Love isn't complicated. It is sabotage by those who pretend not to feel the very thing that expands their existence. Love is the equator defining commitment and boundaries. obliging oneself to be vulnerable, establishing roots, sustaining an alignment beyond physicality. Souls doesn't need permission to love. It requires an unlocked heart, demanding willingness, inhabiting its occupancy, and anchored in gentleness. Love is a word given to the masses. It listens for solutions as it sprinkles optimism in a sacred place, venomly blooming from a bud to a rose, expressing its timeless devotion to each soul it exists. Poem. One more. Thank you. I wasn't gonna read this one, but I like it. And I just finished it. Pig. Police inflicting grief. They that wear a badge doesn't always wear it in honor. The moment they denounce their oath takes to govern the community under their own principles, murdering Blacks and Hispanics, children, women, and men, body cams recording their trophies, conducting unbecoming of an officer isn't the title they deserve. Don't use hushed tones while informing on the cop, whose job was to enforce law, investigate a crime, and arrest the accused. Instead, the gang in blue inflicts pain and use the word fear as a tactic to return home. What a privilege it must be. Weaponizing the system with such a small word, changing the definition of innocent, and giving the guilty justification to launch war on citizens. Officers deem no human involved. Is these the rules printed in the police handbook? Is the corruption so accepted through the system? No one dares speaks in fear of retribution. Should the residents just plead guilty on behalf of their bullies' nightmares? Is the terror police carry come from a place of ancestral abuse? That retaliation sits in the heart of the unrest. Truth given, white or black law, unafraid, the oligarchs' structure has allowed authorities to falsify an emotion to eradicate a community that our cutest can't use. Poem. Thank you. And if you would like to follow me on social media, it's Trina Powell on Facebook and Miss Feisty_writings on Instagram.
Can we give it up for Katrina? Katrina, a little bit louder than that. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So, and are we signed up for the open mic list? There's space, I think. Space for the open mic list. All right, amazing. So next, we're going to welcome up Johnson Soldout. Let's give it up.
Wait, stop, don't get up. Just hit snooze. Postpone today for tomorrow. Please, come back to me, baby. Let me wrap you up in my warmth. Watch you melt like butter on a short stack as we lay together in infinite bliss. You're overworked and stressed. Let me help you back to rest. It's a cold world. Let me guide you back to Dreamville. I can keep you peaceful. I can keep you safe. Outside is so deceitful. The world is covered in smog and illusions. Facades run our institutions. They don't care about you like I do. Never support you like I do. Friends and family don't love you like they say they do. They're lying to you. They're building you up to know how to break you down from the inside. They're praying for your demise. wringing you out for every last drop. Your purpose is everyone else's multi-purpose use. Toilet tissue for their shitty issues. They won't miss you when you're gone. They'll be relieved like a shift change, happy to be clocking out of your engagement. These so-called friends and family you die for, but when flipped, they wouldn't even open the door. Outside, you seem brawn, but inside, you're as sturdy as a paper straw. So really, what do you think you're doing? You don't fit the bill to make change. The world has gotten a taste of you only to rinse you out with Listerine. I know you've seen it. You've been outside long enough to know it ain't cool to be black and a man these days. Your best asset is being silent and out of the way. So why don't you listen to them? Or rather, listen to me. The only one to ever hold you down. The only one to cover you when faced with a frown. The only one that loves you. Come over here. Now. Turn off the lights. Relax. I'll take control from here. Take a load off, then get a load off. Cue up the Netflix or YouTube vids. You know, there's no better feeling than laying with me and binge watching to oblivion. So, give in. So yeah. How's it going, y'all? That was a pillow talk from my self-published book, Scattered, for sale right now at the back table. My name is Justin Johnson Soldout, author from Belleville, New Jersey. I do music, I do the writing, the authoring, and I do the performing. I just want to shout out everybody because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget. So shout out Millie. She's been chasing me for a couple of years now to do another show. And I've been ducking her among other people because I just life be busy. And, it's expensive to live in Jersey. So I sacrifice to get a wage sometimes. But, I'm trying to come back outside to see y'all. Shout out to the Hoboken Museum. Thank you for having us. Thank you for letting me spread my words out here. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Katrina. Dope poetries. And shout out to y'all for being here. You know what I'm saying? The show's not a show without y'all. Could have been anywhere in the world. And you decided to come spend your Saturday listening to poetry. It's a little wild, but I'll take it. So I'm going to get into some more poems. God left the group chat. Probably because I got an Android instead of an iPhone. Only apples I'm biting got pine in them. And it mixes better with the tequila I'm drinking. And the tequila makes for a better contact to the spirit since she want to be acting different. But let me chill. I'm drinking straight from the agave. No need to be mentioning her like that. God left the group chat. And I'm used to her ignoring my messages, used to her making me think my breakdowns were reaching her, used to her thinking she's always gonna hold my hand, but she already held my back. She told me the power was already inside me. I chose not to listen, chose not to reach for the godliness within me, chose to stay so limited so I ain't scared of civilians. When the mortals see you have magic, they'll break their necks till you have whiplash and hang your legacy by a noose instead of the rafters. Wait, I got some more. God left the group chat. And I'm glad I'm finally being told to stand on my own too, without the safety net to crash land into. Only a shooting star can make a crater, so why wouldn't I show the world the heat I was gifted by the creator? So that was God left the group chat. That's actually it's a song, it's an acapella from the song that I have on streaming on Spotify called God Left the Group Chat. It's my show, not yours. And yeah, it's a project I did with, I see my man's back there. He produced it. Shout out my man Caesar back there. Yeah, check it out on Spotify. It's me, another friend that's a rapper named Kid Pro, and it's a dope listen. On all streaming, not just Spotify. On all streaming. Let's see. You are what you speak. Become the greatest or peak. Be mindful of the words that your mouth can leak. Self-inflicted curses from death-laced verses. It's a wonder why they end up early in hearses. Why live long when channeling early dismissal? Media showcasing tragedy and grief as the only way to live official. Shut off the screens and prove the parasite's wrong, it's crucial. Embrace being a wilting flower. You may lose a few petals, but new stems grow with greater power. Life throws a lot of lemons. Doesn't mean you have to live so sour. I skippity to the orchard when the life gets stagnant. Sun rays pull into me like magnets. I keep a smile on my face, they can't stand it. Spirit told me live my truth, actually it demanded it. So much to live for, I stopped counting for what to die for. Silence the doomsayers and remove the eyesores. I couldn't bloom in a room cultivating doom. Yes, bad things happen, but I prefer to keep pushing like a broom than stuck in its dust, consumed. Oh my goodness. Woo! One more? All right, I got you. Oh yeah. They'll need helicopters to send me my flowers. As my poetics continue to tower, I'm looking down and it ain't time to cower. Free Gaza. I'm gonna make 100K and buy a new Mazda, then host a food drive at the Garden State Plaza. I spoil those with my victories, immune to repeating tragic histories. Long as the sun's shining, I'm banning feeling misery. I sink sad thoughts, return the disaster sold to me, in control of my life like a lucid dream. Been on this wave before title provided a new stream. Talking trash, but still keep it clean. I'm gonna make 100K and be that much closer to telling my job is my last day. You can keep your overtime pay. I'm building up something better than a 401K. My resume be worth more than a triple IRA. I'll be reporting from where the legends stay. That boy Johnson found the way. Worked so hard, so finally my turn to play. They tried their hardest but couldn't sway. Threw up obstacles but failed to delay. These wannabe predators, now they're my prey. Words in the infinite, words more infinite than the possibility to make money. These days, conjure worlds immaculately. Built tough, bridging two worlds, tap in Z. Tap into memory breaks. I'm gonna make this 100K and put a smile back on my mom's face and put some pounds on my dad's waist. Mortgage paid, new rooftop. Actually, forget the new shingles. I'll pop the top like some Pringles and dismantle the foundation to make room for greater adaptations. Woo! Woo! Time freaking flies. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You can find me, Johnson Soldout. I'll be here. You can talk to me. I'm real personable. And again, thank you so much, Millie. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, again. And support the arts. And I know it's looking crazy outside. Best you can do is just do what you can. Help your neighbors out. Help your families out. Help your friends out. Help yourself out. And we will prevail. I believe it. Thank you.
Can we give it up for Johnson Soldout? Yes. I'm so happy that all my stalking worked and you you came back outside. That's what I'm talking about. My goodness. All right, we're going to shift into the Q&A portion. So I'm going to have Johnson, Don, and Katrina come have a seat right here. I sit at the end, and my friend Danny's gonna roll this way, right? There we go. They can probably pass it around though.
You could pull it out. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I know, right? And just like that, we transition to the next part. Look at that. Amazing. All right. So again, thank you, three, for being here. And I'm so excited to ask you a few questions. So this is a general question for all of you. As Black poets, we carry deep cultural legacy, but we are not a monolith. While we acknowledge the unique challenges and power of being Black poets, how does your work transcend the labels that people may place on it? What stories are you telling that resist being boxed in? So it's two questions in one. But we can start. We'll just take the mic, and Katrina, we can go this way. Yeah.
One way I write that I'm not boxed into who I am is just being open. Like sometimes as a Black woman, they don't want us to say certain things. They don't want us to talk a certain way. So I do everything they don't want me to do. What was the other question?
The other part is, what stories are you telling that resist being boxed in? How does your work transcend the labels that people may place on it?
Yeah, it's kind of like basically the same. I do what they don't think I should do.
Thank you.
Katrina spoke on this on her set about how the more conversations that we have, the more we find that we have more in common. And I just write from life experience. Some things might be personable to me because I'm a Black man, age 32, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean every single poem is centered around that identity of me. You know, I talk about a job. You know, I talk about my job. A lot of you reacted when I mentioned my job, and I bet you a lot of you resonated, even though we probably all have different types of occupations. You know, it's all about finding the commonality, and people are gonna feel how they're gonna feel, and they're gonna box you in. You can't worry about the people that are gonna box you in. You got to pay attention to people that are actually listening and want to engage. So that's how I go.
Thank you.
I definitely share that sentiment. Staying out of the box means being okay with pissing people off. The truth has no limits. So if you tell your truth, that's what it is. Nobody else can change that. No one else can say, but you're wrong. No, this is how I live. This is how I exist in this universe. And if you don't want to hear the story, you can go somewhere else. But if you do, my name's Don Krypton. You can follow me on all of me. But yeah, no, that's the big idea. Just making sure that not only are you telling the story as you see it, but accepting others' stories as well, like listening to your parents, your grandparents, what they lived through, understanding how all of that proceeds into what we are dealing with now, and being able to tell the truth, not just an opinion, but how it actually is. So that's where I'm at. That. No boxes as far as that's concerned. Everybody is involved.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. You can keep it on, and we'll just go back this way. What first drew you to poetry as a medium for truth-telling or emotional expression?
I heard that. Give me it one more time.
You got it. What first drew you to poetry as a medium for truth-telling or emotional expression?
That is, I hate to do this, plugging again. That is all in this book, illogical. What happened? I had gotten into a situation where all of my original vices had not worked. I couldn't play video games. I couldn't listen to music. Nothing was working. And I was told, hey, instead of doing all the things that might be negative to you, things that might hurt you, do something that will expunge that negative that you are feeling, not to just cover it up. So write it down, get it on paper, look at it. Is this how you actually feel? Interesting. Do something else. What's going on next? What's going on next? So that's actually how I came up with the book Illogical. It's me getting those big feelings out on paper so that I can move past them and be able to, continue life, because sometimes it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But yeah, that's where my poetry started.
Thank you for sharing.
For me, I want to say I don't openly express, oddly enough, funny enough, right? I don't openly express myself. I'll pour my heart out through my art, and I'll speak through my art. I won't, like, if you ask me directly, yeah, but I won't, like, if I'm having a bad day, I won't be like, I'm sad. Like, you know, like, I'll just wait for somebody to ask me, or I'll just like pour it out through my writing and, you know, just get over it or whatever the case may be. So writing has just been kind of just that for me. It's just getting how I feel out. Also, it's just like ever since I was like 4 years old, I was always writing stories. I would write spoofs about like Captain Underpants and stuff like that. And like I don't know, I just find humor in that type of stuff. So I was always just like you know, trying to tell a story, trying to see things from a different angle, because we all have different perspectives. Even if you feel like you live the most mundane life, like you live a life that no one else can live, for better or for worse, you know. So yeah.
Thank you.
For me, it was about not having a voice and able to, and also when you come from such a big family, I was a fighter, and my teachers and my mother, they was like, we have to find something for her to do so she's not fighting. And writing became that thing for me. It gave me a place to channel the anger, the frustration, and everything. So for me, it was an outlet of emotions.
Would you all agree that poetry is like medicine?
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Next question is, what do you feel poetry offers that other forms of storytelling do not? Thank you, girl.
Okay. Since I kind of dabbled in trying to tell, like, write a story before, for me, poetry offers me the opportunity of free will. I don't have to stay into a pattern. I don't have to remember a bunch of characters' names. For me, it's just the free will of being able to move in any space I want to, using different things for my like, I can write a poem about a person, but fragrance it with flowers. Like, it's the outlet of how I see things. Or I can take a poem and write a car, but I'm really talking about my heart being broken, but I turned it into a car. So for me, it's the open expression of how you can just move freely with poetry.
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, piggyback off of that, just like it's like a third language in itself. For me, it's just like, you know, it's something that many people, when done right, it's you might not be able to perceive what's actually going on. There's so many different layers to what you could be reading or what you could be hearing. And sometimes a story, most of the time, is direct. Like, you can find a hidden message in a story. Somebody tells you a story, but in poetry, you know, I've written poems about a specific subject, and somebody's read it and be like, completely brings up another subject that I wasn't even referring to, and I was just like, that's what I wasn't going for, but I could see how you got that, and I'm not mad at that. But that's the beauty of art; it's just up for interpretation. So it's a story can kind of only go one way. Poetry, for better or for worse, can open the doors to so many different viewpoints and ideas.
Amazing. Thanks.
The same thing, but the exact opposite, if that makes any sense. Let me not lose you just yet. Being able to express yourself without being constrained to a form unless you want to. Poetry has a bunch of different forms, but you don't have to use a form in order to be a poet. You know, as a DJ, your job is to make the people dance. If it doesn't make the people dance, you're not a good DJ. You know, if you're a comedian and you make people laugh and you're not making people laugh, you might not be a good comedian. A poet can walk on stage, say and do whatever they want. Somebody's gonna snap. Somebody's gonna understand. Somebody will understand. Even like as Justin said. Even if they're not understanding the point you're trying to put out there, somebody always gets something from it because it's an expression that's not limited to, you know, 16 bars, something that's not limited to, you know, you can do a full 5-10 minute soliloquy. I know people who have gone, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes on stage. And then there's the people who, you know, come in, do a haiku, leave, and it's the best poem of the night. So the fact that it's not constrained to a box is an excellent reason why poetry is the way it is.
Wow. So it sounds like through poetry, there's a lot more freedom. than limitation. I love that. Thanks. What is one reoccurring theme or feeling that always finds its way into your writing, no matter what?
Mine is some type of numbers. Mine is always some type of science, some type of spacey theme, because space was my first love, you know. Illogical, as you can see, listen,
That's what we're here. Reference the book. That's what I'm
you could, if you look closely on it, it's the live long and prosper sign from Star Trek. So yeah, that's one thing that always finds my way into all of my poetry, some type of star reference, but you know, not even in the astrological way, in the astronomical way, but that's a whole nother piece. I'm gonna pass it off to Johnson before I start talking.
Always has to be in my writing. Humor for sure. Gotta make the people laugh. So much. You can, I love satire. You can be serious and still have people in the room laughing. You still spread a message with laughter. And I also just love flipping a cliche and ooh.
That's my phone. Yeah, that is my husband. Sorry.
Shout out the husband.
Yeah, shout out to him. I'm alive. I'm alive.
But yeah, humor, and just like I like taking cliches and flipping them over their head and making it a brand new cliche, making it something you never heard before, never thought of. Yeah.
For me is spirituality and love. You're always gonna find some type of spirit space in my work, some type of love push in my work, and showing up. I believe like we should show up for each other, so I'm always pushing those three things in everything I write.
It's okay. It's all right. You're like, that's the mic drop. I really need you to know that. Thank you for sharing. So right now we're going to get into your publishing journeys. Okay. There are many paths to publishing, from traditional publishers to self-publishing platforms. What route did you take, and why did it feel like the right fit for your project?
I did self-publishing, and I tried to do a traditional publishing, but it just seemed that with traditional publishing, it was very expensive, and it didn't seem like it was for me because it didn't seem like I was winning at the end. Like traditional publishing, I'm not against it, but it's like they set up this whole team of stuff to do, and then it's like on the back end, you, as a publisher, you had worked for nothing. So for me, the traditional route didn't work, but I did self-publish, and that seems to be working for me.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I went the self-published route because the people demanded it. I was doing so many shows that after the shows, strangers would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I love your work. Like, can I buy your book?" And I was just like, "I don't have a book." And that just kept happening for like 4 or 5 months straight. And I was just like, probably should make a book. So I'm missing out some money here. And then also it's just like, when it comes to like getting a publisher, not all obviously, but like they, see if your work fits their catalog and see if, they're judging your work regardless. And the thing is, like, I've already got the stamp by the people. Like, people already like it. You might not see it because you wasn't at the show, but like, this is working. It's gonna work. Trust me, you. And Amazon just let me like do the book how I wanted. I went out and got the cover made by somebody because I'm good with writing, not drawing. So I had somebody do the cover for me, and Amazon allows you to get your own copy so you can sell out to people out in the streets. Whereas it's like a lot of publishers, you have to buy through a website or buy through, some other channel, and it's not direct. As you know, the best way to get to people is directly. If I have to send you a link and it takes more than 3 clicks, most people get disinterested, So I like selling it out the trunk, as they say in hip hop. So
Thank you.
Very similar story. This was actually supposed to just be a burn book. I was going to publish it, make 1 copy, read it over, and then throw it in the furnace somewhere. Because that was kind of what it was supposed to be. I was encouraged by seeing people write and seeing, how their covers can come out dope and self-published. And then I had my team also take a look over it. As I mentioned before, I work with Evolu Culture, and all of them being basically world-renowned poets and stuff. I'm like, oh, so I'm okay to be on you guys' level. Like I should do this. You absolutely, you should do something with this. You have a lot of stuff that you can put together and put it out. So that was basically my journey. I got this first copy. Everybody looked at it. My sister actually did this cover as well. She's a graphic designer, so she helped me out with that. And it was once I actually got it in hand, I'm like, okay, what can be done better? And I went and actually reached out to the purveyor of NJ Poetry events, James Ellerby, and he read it over and said, this is amazing. So somebody being, kind of like my poetry sensei saying, you got something here? All right, I'll do something with it. And he actually offered to do the forward for my book as well. So that's how I knew I had a stamp that I could that I could do something like this. So that was my journey to this book. Self-published. I went through Lulu. That was a mistake because there's no templates or anything, so you have to do everything yourself. I don't even have my name on the front of the book. Like I said, it's supposed to be a burn book, but other than that, self-published route, that's where I went.
Thank you all for sharing. So 2 more questions about self-publishing, and we're going to get into some book-specific questions before we do the Q&A. So the next question I have for you all is, if you were publishing your book today, knowing what you know now, is there anything you do differently?
Doing it today. As of right now, Evolu Culture has a publishing branch as well called Beyond 28, led by Poet of My Environment, Pome, and Paul Conqueso, 2 of the most fire people you have ever heard on the stage. So if you haven't heard of them, I'll link you to them because they're very good. I would probably go through them because they understand what the self-published route is like. They understand what everything that is needed as far as that's concerned. And I would have my team help me go through all of it the way I should.
yeah, I would go through Evolu. Honestly, because it's for us, by us type of thing, Mm-hmm. So they would understand. They know where we're all coming from. Outside of that, if it wasn't through Evolu, then I probably still would have self-published, but I would have spent a little bit more time in realizing, not to say my book doesn't feel like a book, but I would have the first time around, I didn't have artwork. I did a second edition, I added artwork, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was just so focused about getting the words out there that, I could have made it a lot more prettier and more pristine, and it was a little rough. First time doing anything, it's always gonna be a little rough, but you get better and better doing it more and more. So I think I would have just slowed down the process of how I went about it, did the illustrations, maybe some other cool things, played with some font styles, things of that nature.
I've been to a couple of Evolu's poetry open mics. I wouldn't have changed anything though. Me and my son worked on this book, so it's got its own sentiment to it too. So I wouldn't change anything. But I definitely, going into my next phase, I will definitely look into Evolu.
I love that, how communities coming together to inspire, new beginnings and next chapters. That's amazing. All right. So what advice would you give to another Black poet who feels called to publish, but intimidated by the process?
One day at a time. take your time and don't listen to outside voices. This is your journey. This is like someone said to me, and I'll pass it on. When you put this book together, it's your new baby. You're birthing your new baby. You won't let anybody tell you about your child. Don't let anybody tell you about your book. Take the steps to love on you and your new baby and push it.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
I would say, yeah, take your time. There's always room to make, especially now in this era, maybe 100, 200 years ago, it was kind of like one and done and the process was a lot harder. But now it's just like you can put something out, you can take it down, you can edit it right on the spot and fix whatever errors you might have forgot to fix. The biggest thing that helped me, because it was such a process, because there were so many drafts of there was 90 poems in the book at first, and then it went down to 50, and then it went up to 70, and then it went down to I couldn't figure out what was the perfect number and all this, that. And then I saw a podcast, I can't remember the podcast, but it's you can always do it again. You can always put out another book. You can always put out another song. You can always do it again. It's never finalized. You know what I'm saying? Think of your favorite artist, and all the accolades they have. Nobody's being yeah, but you remember that one time at the open mic they choked? Nobody's doing that. Remember that they had that spelling error on page 5? Nobody it's beyond that. So don't get in your head about it, and just, you can make another book, learn from the mistakes, and also learn from what went well too. A lot of people don't do that. We only try to look at the mistakes, but what actually worked. Apply that next time too.
Love that.
Not gonna add too much more. That was perfect. Just do it. Literally just do it. It starts with writing. You've already done the writing. That's the hard part. So now put it together. If you need help, ask for help. If you don't want help, just put it together and put it out. Get started. Get started. You can't do anything if you're not doing it. Just do it. So I'll stay there. Just do it. Just do it.
There we go. Hope everyone felt very encouraged by those words just now. I'm going to get into a question for you, Don, about illogical. Okay. Illogical explores the tension between logic and emotion. When did you realize you couldn't logic your way out of certain feelings?
Unfortunately, I think I answered that. If I get mad at something or if something pisses me off, I'll turn on a game of 2K and just, dunk on somebody, or if somebody blocks me when I'm playing video games. If I could not get to the point of playing video games, something is wrong. If I cannot get to the point where I want to, play some music and dance my way out of a funk, or, I couldn't get there. Something was blocking me from trying to experience joy, and I had to figure out what it was. So that's where I was getting to a point where, okay, what's wrong with my brain? It's probably my heart. So let's fix it. Write that down. Let's get it together and figure it out. And that's where illogical came from.
That's deep. I have one more question just to kind of piggyback off of that one. What emotional truth was hardest to confront while writing this collection?
People suck, and there's nothing you could do about it. People will do you wrong because they want to and for no other reason. Does it make sense? No, it's very illogical, but at some point in time, you have to move on and understand that. I think DMX said it best: trust people to be who they are.
Yes, he did.
If somebody's acting like a snake around you, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, what do you think it is? People are who they're going to be. You have to understand that people are not everybody has a good side. Not everybody has, not everybody can be saved. And that's kind of where illogical comes from.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. So these questions are for Johnson now. Oh, I do. Thank you. You like my question? Thank you. It's the third one, and there's going to be more. So, yes. So Scattered spans several years of your life. How did revisiting poems from 2012 to 2019 challenge or affirm who you are today?
I was just talking about this. That's crazy.
Telekinesis.
It's a lot of my older, so like scattered from like 2012 to 2019, I was in college, finishing high school, in college, early 20s. I'm 32, so like, you know, anywhere from like 18 to like 7, math sucks, 25. So, you know, it was definitely a different period in my life, a transitional period of into that adulthood and stuff like that. I dropped out of college, working a dead end job. What was the only thing that kept me happy? Poetry. And a lot of the stuff that I was writing about was just like, it was dark. Again, there's humorous. You'll laugh at certain points, but then there's also points where you're just like, oh man, is he okay? Like, so now I try to, you know, I live by the whole words are spells, and I try to have more, not to say that I completely block any time I'm sad or mad or like, you know, I just try to be more careful with my words and try to have more uplifting and positive things to say instead of just like feeding into like the negativity, which also makes for great material too. But I try to like, I'm trying to like, as I read through this, sometimes it's still great and I still love it, but like I'm like, dang, there's a lot of sad stuff in here, and I don't luckily feel the same way I did back then. So that's great.
I have another one for you, just to piggyback off of that one.
Okay.
So you mentioned humor and also sadness. How do you decide when to make readers laugh and when to sit them down in discomfort?
Okay. If it's a show, I kind of read what the room is doing. So like I went last and I was able to see that Dawn and Katrina hit y'all with some like heavy, factual, powerful stuff. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna be the levity. I'm gonna make everybody laugh.
Yeah.
And when it comes to just like writing in general, I guess it's like I really haven't figured that out yet. I kind of just go off of what I feel. I'm trying, especially with the times that we've had since COVID, I'm trying to lean into more about speaking on current events more often. It's just like for me, it's just like I've never been the type of person to like write something and like post it on Instagram just because it's like the hot trending topic of the time. But I also have to realize poets' job is to like tell the people what's going on and what's happening. So like trying to find that right balance of like how to engage with the people but not look like I'm trying to like get a million likes. Like it can be hard. So I'm still navigating that aspect of it. But yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. So these questions are for you. I Was Voiceless speaks to women navigating hurdles and finding hope. What moment in your life made you realize this book needed to be written?
My son, my youngest son, one day he came into my room and we just always talk, but he asked me what I was gonna do with my poetry when I die, because it was just sitting in my room. I read and I do things like that, but it was just there and I had not done anything. And I'm a cancer survivor. So thank
Can
you.
we clap it up for that?
Thank you. And it hit me like, oh, wait a minute. And I was about to have a grandbaby, so I was going to be a grandma. So I just was like, he shocked me with it. Like he made me stand on 10 toes and get it done. Cause I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do with it? You gonna throw it in the garbage? No, we can't do that. So we have to leave legacy, and that's what for her, for them, you know. And I just got into action because he really woke my spirit up.
Amazing. I feel like my next two questions you pretty much answered. You're just like all encompassing, but I will ask this. Your work centers Black women and motherhood. How do these lived experiences shape the way you approach storytelling and healing?
Gentle. I love my grandmothers, and they was the best part of me. They were gentle with me. I swear, like sometimes they hugs, all of them. They just would embrace me and all my badness. Because people are like, she is bad. And I'd be like, and my grandmother would say, no, she's misunderstood. She'll get it together. And I was like, that's right, grandma, you tell them. But I just was in I feel like my poetry reflects my walk. And I would say, be gentle with the person you're talking to and be gentle with yourself, because as women we wear so many hats and we do so much stuff that sometimes we forget to be gentle with the other woman and with ourselves.
It's beautiful. Thank you. So I just have two more questions and we're going to get into Q&A. I hope we have some Q&A questions ready to ask our wonderful panelists. What does liberation mean to you as a writer and a human being?
For me, it means freedom. I'm a free spirit. I'm a Gemini. I don't like the box. I don't like anything that tugs me to a place. So it's just freedom for me. I don't have no form. I could do 2 poem, one sentence. I just need the freedom just to be who I am in the moment that I want to be.
What does liberation mean? I mean, just saying whatever you want. A lot of people just feel like that means you can say whatever you want without consequences. Like, no. If you say, the no words, different slurs and things like that, or have an opinion, read the room type of thing. Or if you do say it in the room and you don't read the room, don't be surprised if somebody's meeting you outside with brass knuckles, I think you should be able to say whatever you want, but you should also be able to face those repercussions if you really value the words that you feel like you need to utter out into the general public.
I might not look like it, but I'm the one that'll meet you outside with the brass knuckles. I'm a nice guy until someone tries to tell me what to do. I'm the nicest person in the world until somebody says, hey, you can't do that. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show you to your face. I'm going to do it because there's nothing you could do to stop me, okay? Not going as far as being mean to other people, not going as far as, not saying that I'm saying that, what you were explaining, not going as far as, talking to other people and telling them that they're bad at something. No, freedom is being able to do what you want without a limit, a top, but still, yes, reading the room, paying attention, but making sure that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, but you do have to read the room. I understand that.
Thank you. So we're not a monolith, as we're sharing. The last question for you all. What do you hope readers carry with them after experiencing your poetry, emotionally, spiritually, or in how they move through the world?
The truth. Truth will set you free. The truth is liberation. The truth is what you want people to understand. Go back, look at the facts and figures. The numbers and dates I gave you are all correct. So when you see the things going on now, you can say, hey, that's not right. So if you got to pay attention to something, pay attention to the numbers, the facts, the figures, and then make your decision from there and do what you got to do.
Thank you.
I mean, whatever the person at the time needs. I've had people call me, text me saying at random times. It's so weird to separate like the artist side and just being a normal person, because like I've had people call me, text me being like, oh my God, this part was so funny. Oh, this was so enlightening. I never knew about that. I'm gonna look more into it. I've had people tell me that certain poems made them cry, and I'm like, it's like so like whatever that person needs at that time, whether it's like a laugh, some enlightenment, some emotional release, as long as you read it and you enjoy it, or if you don't enjoy it and you feel like, I guess, inspiration. So I think inspiration, if it inspires you to do something, whether that's artistry, whether that's starting a business, whether that's reconnecting with old people that you haven't talking to in a while, things of that nature, for sure.
Thank you.
I want you to take away being confident. I want you to be able to be encouraged. And I want you to look at your neighbor and have some type of compassion.
Thank Thank you. Amazing. Can we give it up for them? Wow. Amazing. Thank you. So we're going to open it up to Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for any of the poets? General questions? Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm not a poet, I'm an artist, painter, but I am so inspired. It is, I mean, I don't want to go home and write, but boy, keeping that journal, I'm going to start doing that. So thank you for sharing all the, and I need to get my art out there. Art is poetry. Just get going, Bill. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hi. What is your next passion project? What can we expect?
So I'm sorry. I thought that she didn't say. So right now, I'm working. Okay.
Oh, you want Yeah. Okay. Question for everyone. What is your next passion project and what can we expect? When can we expect it?
Right now, I'm working on a new poetry book, and I'm also working on my leukemia journey book about taking caretakers. And the poetry book is called Five Ships of Life, and it's all different things of different relationships that you go through in life. And the second book I'm working on right now is the journey through cancer. And I'm trying to have them out by midsummer.
I'm currently sitting on an EP of music that hopefully will either come out this month or next month. I'm singing on a bunch of music of me doing spoken word over beats, collaborating with a bunch of different poets and other rappers and singers of that nature. The project's gonna be called Versace Volume 2. And again, produced by my man's back there, Caesar. Where's Caesar?
Let's give it up for Caesar. Caesar, right here.
Raise your hand. Open shop. Yeah.
All right, all right.
He does.
That's Caesar.
You gotta plug your. I've known him since the second grade. You gotta plug your friends. If you guys need production, you got a podcast that needs editing, things of that nature. He's an audio engineer extraordinaire. Like he'll make you sound crisp. But yeah, and then outside of that, a manuscript. Oh, man, like what happens is a lot of the poems I start to write that are gonna lean towards a manuscript, I turn into songs, unfortunately. There's no rules in me doing both a book with the same, songs and books with the same thing. But then, like, that's all to say that a manuscript. I don't know when the next book is coming out. I want to do another book. I just don't know what direction to go into yet. So that is to be determined as far as the next book you'll get. But there will be another book and multiple books for sure.
Okay, so quick succession so I don't bore everybody. My next book will be, it's kind of a similarity between this handsome gentleman in front of you as well as the founding father, Aaron Burr, called My Friend Who I Shot. It's the second book that I haven't written yet, but it is somewhat written. Y'all the first ones to hear me actually say that some of it's written, so that's cool. That's one piece. My current love is DJing, so I'm doing DJing basically all over Newark right now. I actually do have a Mixcloud available, and I'm uploading my second whatever upload, I guess, to it at the moment. So that's happening. And I don't tell too many people about this, but I'm a champion of a wrestling, not a wrestling, faux wrestling. It's a faux wrestling organization called the Black Wrestling Order. And I didn't bring my belt today. I didn't realize how much space was going on, but I am also, as the champion, I do have to defend that. So I'm going to be fighting my best friend in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to beat I'm
keep it PG.
going to do my best to win that match. So those are the three things that are in front of me right now. Yes. Don
When can we
Krypton.
catch that, Don?
Don Krypton. Nobody's touching it. I'm this close to copywriting it, so we'll make it trademarking it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
When is that, Don?
What?
The match. They want to know when the match is.
Oh, the match is going to come out, I believe, March 15th. You can look up the Black Wrestling or the BWO Network. That's on YouTube, and the Black Wrestling Order Promo Division Live on Facebook.
Amazing. Anyone else have a question for our panelists? Anybody else? Don't be shy. Oh, okay. You like the new format? I love the comment. All right. There we go. We're doing something different, right?
You got one
All
up front?
We have a question up here.
There we go.
You heard their performances and you heard me ask some questions. So any questions?
Okay, this is also for everyone. What is maybe an aspect of your identity that is not obvious, so not race, not gender, not age, that you think influences the way you show up as a writer? Some ideas. Being the eldest daughter, or being a Gemini, or whatever have you. What's something that maybe a lot of people wouldn't know about you, but helps, I guess, inform who you are as a poet?
One of the first poems that I wrote outside of Illogical is one that I made. That it seems to be my most favorite poem for most people. It is called Sagittarius or Sagittariist. And
Wait, run that back, Don. Run that back. What is it?
the name of the poem is Sagittarius or Sagittariist. And the first line of that poem is, I'm an astronomer, not an astrologer, so the stars mean something different to me.
All right.
Something that's not. You were saying basically like something that's not obvious in my writing that is an identity within my poetry. Is that what you were saying? I will say, I guess this is the only thing that comes to mind, just so I don't waste time. At the end, towards the tail end of the book, I have a poem called Power. And within that poem, I talk about going to the nude beach. I like to go to the new beach. There's a new beach in Jersey called Gunnison Beach. So I think a lot of people catch that by surprise whenever they read that, among the other things that happen within that poem. So yeah, I would say, yeah, that would be my thing.
Okay. Well, poetry after dark. Whoa.
I don't really something that people might not. I'm shy. The bright colors and things like that. I'm not really an introvert. I'm a socialite, but I don't want to be social all the time. So I like to socialize and go out to things, but I am really shy. Like I'm like, okay. I'm not really. I don't know if I like always meeting new people. So that's a thing. That's a thing I'm trying to work on, pushing myself out my comfort zone to meet new people.
Wow, you would have never known that. Would you have guessed that? Wow, okay. And thank you for pushing yourself out of your comfort zone tonight, because look at this. All right. Oh, a question here, and then we'll do one more after.
Good afternoon. My name is Tavon. Thank you all so much for your beautiful work. I just had a question about your inspirations. It's if you had to choose one poet, what's one poet who really inspires you? And outside of poetry, what's one thing that really inspires you?
You have a twofer, poet and outside of it.
For me, it would be Langston Hughes. A teacher actually gave me a book of his. He was the first poet I ever read. And so for me, it would be Langston Hughes. And then my inspiration would be my children and my grandbaby. I love her. So those things go hand in hand.
For me, I'm gonna go with a rapper because rappers are poets. I'm gonna say Lil Wayne. If I had to pick a poet specifically that identifies as a poet, I'm gonna say Phil K. Something that inspires me outside of like poetry, I would say definitely music. Outside of music, I would say nature, just being outside and hearing the waves, or being in like a forest and hearing the wind blow in the leaves and different animal sounds and things of that nature, for sure.
I'm gonna steal that format. I think my initial inspiration was the rapper Talib Kweli.
That's a good one.
If I had to pick a poet, it would 100% be Gil Scott-Heron.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Easily.
Someone who also kind of someone who kind of blurs that line. Outside of poetry, my inspirations definitely are space,
yeah.
fantasy. I've mentioned that a couple times for sure. And also just being my inspiration normally is trying to figure out what my feelings are, and I have to write it down in order to understand it, because when it's up here, it's all confused. So that's kind of an inspiration that helps me write for sure.
All right, amazing. Thank you. We have one more question, and then we're going to have our short intermission, then our open mic.
When you said the nude beach thing, are you nude when you go?
I was gonna answer
Yeah, what? That's the beach
So
therapist.
specific. All right.
100%. Yeah, you got to. You get the full tan line and everything.
Oh,
100%.
wow.
Yeah.
That's just a little after dark element we got there. Oh, Don, you gonna answer that
He
too?
brave. Listen, I've been there, but I keep my shorts on. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
We're gonna keep it
We're gonna. You don't have to answer that.
Not answering.
Okay, all right, okay.
Not answering.
Okay, all right.
I was about to say something to Johnson and Dawn. I was not answering.
Okay.
I and Millie too. I want to say thank you to you for calling on us to be here tonight, and also Johnson. I didn't know you, but I know you now, and we'll stay in touch. And Dawn, yes, I've seen him in the Newark scene of poetry. So Millie, to you, I thank you for this introduction.
Of course. Thank you. You're coming and being outside. All right, all of you. So thank you for enjoying all of this. We're going to be short intermission. Please support. Their books are back there. Let's support them. And then we're going to be back for our open mic. So please stay, enjoy snacks. You guys having a good time? All right, thank you.
Serious, right? Like a bodyguard. you be like and then like but
trying to keep order.
But you were so I know you was like this funny and stuff.
Hilarious, right?
Right, he is fun. Thank you. Oh my God. You came
Some days I might go do. There's a little cold outside.
Like that? It's on? Okay, everyone, we're going to be back in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, everyone, we're making our way back. If we can have our seats so we can start the open mic portion. Oh, hi, Sam. I didn't see you. So happy when I see my friends. All right, if we can make our ways and sit, we are going to start the open mic portion. I know the bites are immaculate. Hoboken Historical Museum always has the best bites. All right, we're gonna make our way. We're gonna have a seat. Almost everyone is seated. All right. I'm definitely looking at you, Lost Child. All right, are you doing transactions? That's fine. So I can't have the open mic start without me saying a poem. You know, I'm always like the sacrificial lamb when it comes to my mic, so that is nothing different tonight. When I tend to write about love. Because love can just change so many things for us. And when we recognize love, when we accept love, it is truly transformative. So in talking about Nikki Giovanni, which I did earlier, I was tasked with a challenge to write a poem about Nikki Giovanni. And I, of course, went to love. So this is called They Always Find Each Other for Nikki. 1926, Harlem. Her name is Lillian. Joy pinned to her dress like a secret. His name is Isaiah. Trumpet breath, inked hands writing futures on napkins. They meet where jazz sweats through walls, where rent parties turn hunger into rhythm. Outside terror is pressed in a suit. Inside, bare feet, choosing hope. Nikki hums, Black love is Black wealth. So they dance. Joy is not ignorance, it is refusal. History tightens its grip, love learns how to travel. 1971, Oakland. Same souls, different names. She is Amina. Afro wide as tomorrow, feeding children and movements. He is Malik. Leather jacket, sharpened purpose, learning when to shield and when to soften. They love between sirens and study. Call each other comrade outside, home at night. The state watches, friends disappear. Still, I really like to be in love, Nikki insists, because tenderness is strategy. When violence tries to punctuate them, their souls underline each other and keep going. Now, the present breathes heavy. Her name is Zora. Joy practiced boundaries sacred. His name is Jalen. Unlearning armor, choosing peace. They meet in the echo of hashtags, love in the pauses between grief, march, rest, hold. Nikki reminds them, we love because it's the only true adventure. The world rehearses Black death. Their love refuses the script. Look closer. The laughter at the cookout. Lillian and Isaiah still dancing. That quiet planning, that fire, Amina and Malik still building. And that gentle choosing, that deliberate joy, Zora and Jalen finding each other again. Same love, different names, Nikki taught us. Joy is political, love is ancestral. Black people loving freely across time is not coincidence, it's inheritance. Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna adhere to my 5-minute rule. You know what I mean? I definitely said that, so I have to make sure. So I have one more and it's short. And this was published in Soup Can magazine. Yeah. And this one is really special, y'all, because it's my first poem ever published. So when I got the call, and I was just like, oh my gosh, me? For real? Like, you want my poem? Okay, sure, you got it. So, and I always like can never find the page. That's crazy. But it's called Social Construct. As many times as my heart has been broken, I refuse for it to be hardened. Even as I turn on the news and watch the TV crews cover a news story, but the same sad story of a mass shooting, a Black death, a civil right or human right being denied. I feel the weight to maintain my identity, my realness, my essence, cast it aside next to the stereotypical creation of what my phenotype is supposed to be. It is a heavy burden that causes psychological disturbance, as the stress to live is real. And realizing that making it back home is an underrated blessing when you are living Black in America. The worry that affects us cognitively has seeped into our DNA because our parents overworked and worried. Our grandparents overworked and worried as they maneuvered water hoses and dog bites. And our great-grandparents overworked and worried as sharecroppers during Jim Crow. And our great-great as they dodged whips and brandons, and our ancestors who endured shackles and chains. The same way we are shackled to this believing of this purported American dream, American Horror Story, where each generation we have not only seen the lynches of Black bodies who never got a chance to love more, who never got a chance to exist more, laugh more, live more, but the hanging of their humanity when we are subdued into compliance and the acceptance of this bleak fate, that the land of the free is only free with conditions. Thank you. So I did a little love, a little sad, you know, balance. Life is about balance, right? So let's welcome up to the open mic list, to the open mic. Remember, 5 minutes. Ren. Do we have Ren? Let's give it up for Ren. We got him.
Am I tall enough for this? Let's see. Can I? Yeah. Okay. All right. So the first one's a little heavy. If I got time, I'll do another one, but it's up to Millie, maybe. Hopefully she'll let me do it. So this one's called 1 Month to Read. 1. History blueprints the color of my skin, the tragedies I trace back to my ancestral kin, the mockery of horrific times, once the heartbeat of southern lands, one of many to be included as master's property. Humming away subconsciously because the truths were as painful as a whip licks against their backs. These statements I won't redact, but an advisory is needed too. Though time buries the bodies, I remember the strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, rotten like the autumn leaves. Unaware of the men covered in unpigmented sheet, Black bodies do not hang themselves. 3, the laws, they were as followed. 1/4 worse than the rest. Minds traumatized with murky stories and fabricated timelines. Wonder if it will ever be a crime to read this poem. 4, I told you why a young man had no rights to his wife. She told him, baby, these kids are ours, but neither yours nor mine. He clenched his fist and unclenched his grip for fear of being lynched. Women and children working sunrise to sunset with patterned lines along their backs again. Black bodies do not hang themselves. 5, I told you who stole the credit for those reap 40 plus acres, tobacco, cotton, and the trafficking boats they were shipped in. These Negro chronicles would only be a portion of what actually happened. Unable to comprehend, they threw us the books, these laws we accept now as truth. Unserved communities still being equipped with the wrong tools. Abuse can be systematic. 6, have your cuts ever been as deep as theirs? By law, my fate to be the same, but never as fatal. These chains I drag as heavy against the concrete pavement. I never hit that rock bottom. Still working hard without the blisters on my hands. I've cried, but my back never bled from the punishment of not being strong enough to stand. Again, Black bodies do not hang themselves. 7, still my soul clings to hope, begging for liberation against the false equality, carrying the broken communities crying for the broken communities and broken homes, fix these broken windows against the institutionalized crows. They like to throw stones, but it's been the same narrative for centuries. 8. Remember, I told you the skyscrapers were built to bury the kin of my past. The history haunts our present until things change. We'll be forever looking for the Underground Railroad tracks. So let them white out the pages in the history books. Black and brown people still stand out even when we are pushed to the back against black bodies do not hang themselves. 9 decades within the same classrooms, literate enough to work, but I need representation in the courtroom. To read these laws under a hoodie, I maintain the right to remain silent. Doesn't matter what the crime is. As a woman who is black, this is my recommended right. This is how quickly I can lose my voice. 10. I cannot turn a blind eye. The blood that bled from their backs and rotted the roots of those trees is the same that flows within me. If my tears fill the Harlem River, if there's any justification in praying, then like rap songs, my words will be hummed on the streets like African hymns, sung on the fields of plantations, break change and promote prosperity through generations. When I'm told I'm hung up on the past, I show them all my degrees and licenses that others would never have the luxury to have. 11, in February, another year commences. Remember, we waited for amendments 13, 14, 15 to hold true. Wanting equality and justice, these ideas just aren't new. I hope to make my ancestors proud by being myself and doing it so loud. 12, if we see another December, it is not a dream deferred. We are proof. Now that I've told you, should I count my days too? Thank you, poem. Can I do one more? No? Okay. Good time? All right. You can find me at Rin, RIN _wrote _ that. IG.
Here we go. Give it up for Ren. That was amazing. I love a number of poems, steps. Take us through it. Take us through that. That was amazing. Now I want to welcome up someone who is very active in the Newark poetry community. And I was so shocked to see he came outside. I was like, wait a minute. He's always like, comes through like Casper, like here, man. I'm back in. And the wonderful Lost Child. Let's give it up.
Poetically, I go by the name of Lost Child. And most of the time when people hear my name Lost Child, they think Lost, L-O-S-T, Child, C-H-I-L-D. But see, what I did is I took off the T and Lost, took off the D and Child, and smashed the rest together into one word, L-O-S-C-H-I-L, Lost Child. So I made it more of a name than just a title. It's not just what I go by, it's what I actually am. But see, I was given up for adoption and birth, and now 49 years later, I'm still looking for my mother, hence the name Lost Child. But this is my initial rhyme scheme. Because see, in my head, rhythm is measured in motion. Open the third eye in the orifice, protruding parallel paradigms of space and time, unlimited in an eternal essence, evident in the inevitability of existence, consistent in the continuum of casually calculated rhyme schemes. I mean, if a dream dreamt is felt as a proof of a previous life lived, or alternate algorithms amalgamated with acute accuracy, aligning timing inconceivable from limited mind's eyes, discreetly disguised in plain sight, because see, the pharaohs foretold the function of existence before the sake of finding fortune, the Anglos missed it, desecrated the definitions defined by the inscriptions, aligned with astronomical anomalies attenuated by these astrophysicists who are physically limited without the insight of the ancestors. But see me, blessed by these benefactors, my brothers and I rely on innate insight on universal law once led legions breathe in the same atmosphere. But what's happening here is deception. Dissecting the diatribe of the believer's misdirection, redirecting the inflection of anything correlated to melanin, correction carefully calculated for the consumption of any of many who made it to the resurrection of the Son of Man. See, I stand here on stolen land where my stolen forefathers before me would stand here on stolen land. When now the chickens done bust the fuck about the coop and come home to roost, and some seed has taken root from that strange fruit. Shit is truth you can no longer refute, because see, the day of reckoning is upon us, and many won't make it, but for those who do, you will see the dawn of the new sun on the horizon. Grand rising, kings and queens. Peace. If you like what you heard, or you didn't like it, You want to talk about it, hate it, debate it, or whatever the case may be. You can find me on social media, specifically Instagram or Facebook. It's the same thing, but don't follow both because it's the same thing that I do on one, and I hate following people twice because y'all act like it's two different people. But it's Poet, Lost Child, like I explained before. Poet is regular P-O-E-T. Lost Child, like I said, no T, no D, L-O-S-C-H-I-L. All one word. Poet, P-O-E-T, L-O-S-C-H-I-L. Boom. Thank you.
Yeah, I followed all of that, right? Let's get up for Lost Child. Yeah, I'm so happy you came outside. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So now we're going to welcome up, as you heard, as some people were performing, you heard, yeah, yeah, that's right. You know, all of that, all of those amazing ad libs come from my brother Moses, who is my in-house photographer and also just such a talented poet. And also, I'm going to do your plug for you. Can I do that for you? Can I do that plug? We cool like that, right? We know each other, right? Oh, all right. So currently, Moses has a wonderful art gallery exhibition at Cry Out Cave in Newark. All right, let's give it up for that. Yes, it has all of his beautiful photos, and it's just wonderful art. And what's great about it is that he also has a lot of poems with the art as well. So you're getting a twofer right there. All right, so yesterday was the opening reception. You missed it. Don't worry. It's all right. Because April 10th is going to be the artist talk and also a celebration of life for Moses. So please come through for that. And guess who's going to host that? Yeah, me. So come back and see me host. And I'll, of course, ask some questions and look at his wonderful art. But enough about that. Let's please welcome up the wonderful Moses.
Let's go. It's Brooklyn in the house. Let's go. All right, look. I got some new shit. Yeah, I practiced this on the way over here, so hopefully I can pull it off. It's called I'm Still Waiting. I'm still waiting, deliberating. How do I deal with these feelings my desires are creating? The gravity. It's alchemy. Another day of this insanity in the depths of this depravity. Temptations dressed up as validations slowly lead me on. Yo, this feels so wrong. Just a little warmth could last so long. A warm embrace. Is this even first base? Days like this just can't be replaced. These same old steps, I know I'll retrace. Hey, poetic soundtrack, come on back. Move slow, sip mojitos after the show. Let's rise above for the life that we're dreaming of. Fantasies, promises I should never believe. I get on my knees to appease. Then you always leave me empty. I'm still waiting, deliberating. How do I deal with these feelings my desires are creating? The gravity, it's alchemy. Another day of this insanity and the depths of its depravity. The word rules. Thank you for listening.
See how you switched up the tone on y'all? You weren't expecting that, right? Yeah. We love that. We love that. Thank you, Moses. All right. Next up to the mic, Ty Von Vermeer. Tyvon. Oh, I might have said it wrong, but of course, correct me. Let's give it up for Tyvon Famir.
It's Tavon. Tavon Amir. I'm just setting up my time, so I want to be respectful. So like I said, I'm Tavon Amir. I'm from Virginia. I just moved to Jamaica, Queens a month ago today. And it's on my spirit to read this poem. I'm reading selected poems from my book, Raindrops. Talk to me if you want to get it. My peoples are from New Jersey, so I want to talk about my peoples first. Orange specifically. This poem is called Breaking Water. When the bell had gotten louder in my swimmer's ear, I smashed that brass bitch, lasered out the alloys. I let the balls drop without a celebration, without a countdown. I was not one for no-source sounds or people talking from the casket. I worked slave-pay wages. I ate the cooked food, wore the picked clothes. But Mahler don't use a bell, he pound the hearts with hammer, like the sorcerers, like the politicians, like my stern ancestors. They say, "Get up, child. The floor's no place for guns. Cry if you want. Cry standing. You know they're crafting in their caves. You have to want to win because you want to live a new kind of life where you singing in front of strangers, healing the bruises we left for you. Our soft baby, Irosun Iwori, you are chosen to be human. So live loudly, like sea shine sliding through. Open up your window panes. Tell us how the breeze fits your hand skin. I appreciate y'all. Okay, I see you, New Jersey. This next poem is inspired, maybe inspired is the wrong word, but as I was looking at it today, I was thinking a lot about Hagar. If you're Christian, maybe you know about her. But when I was in college, I took an African American religious experiences class with Professor Jessica Davenport, bless her spirit. And something that she really emphasized was how God was with Hagar and the importance of that. And when I looked at this poem today, I was thinking a lot about Hagar. And so this poem is called God Speaks. They sawed your lips off. When I saw those moth wings on the floor, I did not flinch. I did not worry with red and eruption. I scooped your limp dreams from the floor and raised them to my own. And let my tears fall on your skin. When they pricked your pupils and spooned your eyes, you fell, and I raised you by the shoulders. They sliced your ears a thin cheese and chomped, and when they searched for more, I let them. They took your toes one by one and played them like ping pong. I was there. I saw it all. and I said nothing. Your sister knows, and she prays quietly in her dark, dark room, hands together in hushed voice, just how she learned. No one has known me like you have with those string cheese fingers. I see you closely and let you know I am there. Feel that large light on your shiver skin, that rush of cold air when you step out where geese sit and scream and run and fly. Won't you? Where at the lake you stand, don't you see me looking? My Instagram is Tavon Amir, TAVONAMIR. And you can find the book at thecowryshell.org, THECOWRYSHELL.org. I just want to give a special shout out to my god sister. I couldn't have made this without her, Charisse. She's not in the building, but her spirit is.
Let's go, Charisse. Thank you so much. Can we give it up? Yeah. Amazing. So we have two more poets and then some closing remarks. And yes, two more. We have Mark Polite coming up with Scott Pleasance on deck. Let's give it up for Mark Polite. And before Mark performs, I just want you all to know that he was at the very first inaugural Poetic Pages, where Black Poets Speak, and he has been a supporter of all of my poetic endeavors ever since I started in Jersey City, all of them. And he also is the author of about ×4.
Oh my God! Now it's crazy. Now my phone want to act up. Really? Okay. My bad. My fault. Just okay. I'm up now. So I do write about emotions as well. This one is particularly about hatred. It's called Hatred Return to Sender. What am I to do with your hatred? Am I supposed to absorb it, letting it soak into my mind and poison my bloodstream slowly? Should I fall on my sword because you think I am unworthy of breath? Should I adjust myself to your view of me, twisting myself into knots, contorting my identity for approval that will never be granted? Should I go out of my way, bleaching my soul, groveling on the floor, to prove that I am one of the good ones? Oh, I know what you want me to do. You want me to beg for forgiveness for merely existing. Apologize for darkening your door with my shadow. When you have not done the inner work on your hateful spirit, the hate that you harbor for me is yours, not mine. Bear your own cross and collapse under its weight. You'd love for me to return your ire, but all you get is indifference. I won't claim your disdain, nor be less to make you feel bigger. No, I won't be doing any of that. Keep your hatred and bile to yourself, and let the bitterness of it scorch your insides. May you earn the existence you deserve. Go upon your unmerry way, but stay out of mine. Poem. Thank you. All right, so thank you. If you like what you heard, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm on there under Mark Polite. So thank you for listening.
We love that. Like, that was the energy. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. So to finish us off for our open mic, it's going to be Scott Pleasance. Is Scott still here? Oh, he all the way in the back. Yeah, let's go. So Scott is the Poet Laureate of Teaneck, New Jersey. All right. And one of my day one supporters. And I'm just always so happy when I see him in the building. Let's give it for Scott Polite.
Hey, how we doing? All right, all right. Now, when Millie was talking about 3 years back, and I said, I don't know if I was at the first one, second one, third one, but I was somewhere around there in the very beginning. And I really wanted to come out here and just lend a little support to her and Danny and Hoboken, because this is a really cool spot. So if this is not the only reason that you come here, make sure you look out for their information and you come back through. Follow what Millie does in Jersey City. She's making waves. I saw her posing with the mayor the other day. So things are happening. Things are happening for her. It's well, okay. I needed to blow that up because that's what it's really all about and stuff. I know she's making moves. You know, so I listened to the subject matter of what everybody was kind of talking about today, and I said, I got a piece where it says that I'm not a roses are red or violets or blue type of guy. I like to say that I'm cut from a different cloth. You see, I'm cut from that cloth that was used to wrap around the cornrows in my mother's hair, a cloth that was used to make that bow tie around my father's neck, a cloth that was used to patch the holes on my little sister's pants. Yes, I'm cut from a different cloth. A cloth that was used to wipe the tears from my brother's eyes because he cried when he died, and every time it rains, it stains, forcing me to walk over puddles of what could have been. They told me I was cut from a cloth that was passed through many generations, a cloth that was used to wipe the sweat off the brows of the builders of the great pyramids and the temples in Timbuktu, a cloth that was impaled on limestone pages that told stories through worship lips and bent wrists that wrote until our fingertips could no longer hold on to the tools of tomorrow. A cloth that was used as a bookmark in the Dead Sea Scrolls and as a placeholder in the Bible and as a reminder in the Quran. And if that sounds like a lot, well, I'm cut from a cloth that was used to put over the wounds when Martin and Malcolm got shot. Now, most thought their blood would drain, but it stained and still remains, and that's why we're living in a sequel of separate but equal. But it's no longer just about black and white, you see, because that cloth has been used and placed in the pocket and called colors that continue to divide our young brothers. Now, I hope you get it. I really hope you understand when I say I'm not a roses or red or violets or blue type of guy. When someone gives you a few minutes to share your words, to share your poets, don't be so quick to take that bow. Remember this poem, I'm cut from a different cloth, yesterday's past, tomorrow's future, and where we're all standing at right now. Thank you very much. And once again, my name is Scott Pleasant. I am the first and the current Poet Laureate for the Township of Teaneck, New Jersey. And appreciate you, Millie.
I'm always so excited when Scott comes through. Thank you all for coming tonight. As we close out the third installment of Poetic Pages, where Black poets speak, we are reminded that this gathering is not just an event, it is a part of living legacy. This year marks 100 years of Black History Month. Can we clap for that? That was a cue. Which began in 1926 as Negro History Week, founded by historian Carter G. Woodson to ensure that Black contributions to this nation would be studied, preserved, and honored. What started as a week became a month in 1976. But its purpose has always been clear: to safeguard our stories from erasure and to affirm that Black history is American history. Tonight, we continue that mission. We continued that mission. Through poetry, dialogue, and reflection, we have honored the past, engaged the present, and imagined the future. We have affirmed that our narratives belong to us, and that our voices remain powerful, necessary, and unyielding. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our incredible panelists, Johnson Soldout, Katrina Powell, and Don Krypton, for your honesty, brilliance, and unwavering commitment to your craft. Thank you for sharing your journeys, your insight, and your truth with us. And a heartfelt thank you to Hoboken Historical Museum and Danny, Shot, Vera, the whole team. I featured here maybe like 4 times and partnered with you guys, and you guys have always been such a great advocate of mine and partner. That is just so invaluable in the artistic community to have. So I thank you all so much for providing spaces like these for stories to live, breathe within its walls. Spaces like this truly, truly matter. To everyone who attended, thank you for being here, for listening, for engaging, and for bearing witness to our commitment to preserving Black stories. As we leave tonight, may we all carry forward the spirit of Black History Month, not as a seasonal observance, but as a daily practice. Our history is alive, our voices endure, and the work continues. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
I think the last thank you has to go to Millie for pulling this together and holding it together. I want to hear it louder than we heard anything else. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Walt Whitman once said, "Great poets deserve great audiences." You have been a great audience. And by the way, the open mic was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you.
Have a good night, guys, and please make sure to go support our poets. Their books are in the back. Thank you.